10 minutes to the top of the hour, and it's time for Three Stock Lunch. We're looking at some of today's big movers. Netflix taking a pause from its recent run-up after competitor Paramount said it saw its biggest sign-up day ever this weekend. And Macy soaring on the back of strong earnings. Bath & Body Works on pace for its best day since 2020 as earnings beat and the retailer raised its outlook. Let's bring in Delano Saporu, New Street Advisors founder and CEO, and a CNBC contributor. Delano, it's great to see you today. Let's start first with Netflix. I was under the impression that the later comers were struggling more, and yet Paramount seems to be gaining some steam.
Yeah, no, the later comers are not struggling at all. They've been growing pretty rapidly. If you look at what Disney Plus is doing, if you look at what Paramount Plus is doing, Paramount is doing, they're growing, and that is putting pressure, obviously, on Netflix. More variety is obviously, not a good thing in the content space because you only have much time in the day to watch content. And so with Netflix, you have, increased competition, which has hurt the stock. But I do think if you look at where they're trying to penetrate internationally, I think that bodes well. They have high penetration in the U.S. and Canada, and they're looking at APAC, they look at EMEA for their growth, and I think that's a strong thing for Netflix. And also the ad-supported tier, I think that will also bode well for the company. So still holding on. I think there's still positive trends for Netflix as they did have a strong quarter last quarter.
But they don't have Yellowstone.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. How much of this is Yellowstone, if at all? I'm not. I know it's a Paramount property, but I don't know whether it's Paramount Plus.
I think it's a lot of things. I think if you look at, what a lot of other streaming companies have done with live sports, Netflix is stuck with the model on just really documentaries, but a lot of other companies are going with the live sports. I think that's another area where you're seeing, especially Amazon Prime Video, draw in a lot of people, and that's, going to put pressure on Netflix. Now, I think, bringing content, they usually have a strong slate in that last quarter, especially over the holidays, so I think that would bode well for the company.
You're positive on Macy's. That's our stock number 2. Why?
The big thing here is, on two fronts, inventory management and as well as the consumer health. And the big thing management said on earnings was they have increased inventory, so they're ready to meet demand, whatever that demand is in this coming quarter. So I think that's a strong sign for the company. Also, if you look at what the National Retail Federation has as far as expectations for Q4 for retail sales, they're actually pretty strong. We've talked about the bifurcation of consumers. We talked a little bit about, if consumers are strong or, we still have employment and all those different things. But, people are still spending, whether it's cash or on credit. And that bodes well for a company that's ready to meet demand. And Macy's has done that. Even though comparable sales were down, they actually had 31%, which was digital, which I think is a strong sign.
All right. Final name here, Bath & Body Works. What do you think of this?
This one, there's some good things and some other things about this company. It's kind of neutral. It's had a pretty strong trading pattern today, and I think it was, pretty much, if you looked at what their earnings was, they still have primarily a conscious consumer, and demand is kind of going down. They've guided lower, so kind of surprising move with the stock here today, kind of volatile. But I think they're going to be a situation where if they can meet demand and control inventory, it would bode well for the company. But the trading kind of interesting.
It's interesting because to me, it's like a necessary luxury. It's one of those things. It's one of those little things you can splurge on is higher end hand soap or lotion. And for a lot of people, that feels like, all right, I can still indulge in luxury. Delano, thank you.